The Marketing Funnel Strategy Show. More leads. More sales. More predictability.
Introducing Jared Hyman, sales and marketing expert. Introducing Serena Carly, marketing and outsourcing expert.
Hey there, everyone. Welcome to the Marketing Funnel Strategy Show. Super excited for today's episode. We've got the lovely Serena back today. How you doing, Serena?
Yeah, doing pretty good. Thanks here. Lovely day where I am right now. So just enjoying it.
Fantastic. Yeah. I hope you all have your coffee ready. I have mine ready to go for today's session as well. Serena has her, no doubt, dandelion tea. Is that right?
This is actually dandelion, star anise, and pine tree tea. This is beautiful jasmine green tea, and this is turmeric tea.
I knew it was all something funky. So super excited for today's episode, guys. As per always, I mean, we don't promote this show in any way, shape, or form. So we don't put any ads or anything like that through it. So I'd appreciate it if we add some value to you in any one of these shows that we share. And I don't know how many shows are up to. We'd have to be up to 50, 60 odd or something with this specific show by now, right, Serena? Something like that. How many episodes are we at now? Lost count. 50, 60 episodes at least. Yeah.
Could be. Yeah.
Yeah, so I would really appreciate you guys sharing the show as well. If we add some value to you, if we don't add some value to you, that's okay. Don't share the show. But if we have added some value to you in some way, shape, or form, what I want you to do is just share it out. We don't put any ads behind it, so really, really appreciate that. In today's episode, we're going to be talking about a couple of different things, right? Because if you're the type of person, and no doubt if you are watching this show, you are that type of person. If you're the type of person that's actually looking to really up-level the way that you market your business, if you're looking to up-level the way that you your message to the marketplace, the way how many leads you generate, how many sales your business generates every single day, every single week, every single month, there's one area that is super, super important, because what can happen as you are growing your business, you're going to experience really high highs, and then you're going to experience lows where things just don't go your way, right? And one of the key things that you've got to understand is that even sometimes what will happen, marketing will be working so well one day, and then the next day, boom, it flops down. And it's not working as well. It's the same as anything in your business. You lose a staff member that was really, really good at their role. You didn't realize exactly how much they did until they left, right? You experience really highs, really lows. Things happen. How do you go about dealing with all of this? And especially when there's so much going on in the news, so much going on around the world, riots and all these other things that are going on. And all of it can have a tendency to be able to pull your focus away from things that are working, things that are going well, things that have worked well, things that, you've been doing for many years and you do incredibly well with. And when you take your hand away from it or your finger off the pulse, it can have a tendency to lose focus completely. So one thing I want to say to you guys, if you're experiencing maybe now like a low where things just maybe aren't going as well as you would like to, I want to give you guys some tips today in order to bring yourselves back up and actually start doing something about it. Because the one thing that you have in control, is the decisions you make and the actions you take. The decisions you make, the actions you take. The two main things that you have control over.
3, the way you think as well, because the way you think is what creates the decisions you make, and and then the follow on from that. So and that's what's really important in this is the way you think. And sometimes the way you think can take a downhill turn, dealing with all the stress and pressure of what's going on around the world right now. And you can either sit, we sometimes call it the shit pit. You can go down into the shit pit and stay there and rumble around in it like in mud or something. Or then you use the way you think, to get yourself out of it and start dealing with other things and putting yourself in the right mind frame. And some of these things that, Jared will do, quite a few different ones as well. But I'm learning lately that, you sometimes have to cleanse yourself with stuff that sits on your body through meditation or breathing and things like that. So a lot of those will play an important role in keeping yourself in the right mindset so you can focus. Remember, where your focus goes, your energy goes, which is really important. And this is a thing that, I've been doing a lot of lately is working on myself to stay in that same place. So it's really, really important when you're working in a business, when you're dealing with, whatever you're dealing with, lockdowns and governments and things like that, to put yourself up here. So take it away, Jared.
And these are the things, right? Like you got to have some type of mechanism, something that you do to be able to keep yourself on track. Because if you do lose focus, and it could be just for a minute, things can go from bad to worse. So you really got to keep that focus, and you got to have some mechanisms in place for yourself as well to keep yourself out of these states. Because like Serena said, the things that you focus on, they actually expand. And the more that you focus on those things, the more they expand, and the more that will come into your life around that as well. Because that's where your focus is right now. However, you can control the focus that you have right now, and you can change anything that you want, but all it takes is a decision. So, when stress gets high, anxiety, things go wrong, you got to kind of bring yourself back down to earth and go, okay, cool. This is where decisions come in. What actions am I going to take to solve this? How can I solve it? So instead of saying, this is effed, this is stupid, freaking get out, like just, whatever it is that you want to say to yourself, right? If you're going through that and you continue to go through that, it's just going to delay the fact that, hey, I can actually solve this. Because literally, right, what a lot of people do as well, they have a tendency to just completely avoid it altogether, which is a sabotaging habit. And no, I said it's a habit, right? Avoiding something is a habit. It's something that I've done a lot of as well, that I've been working on too. I have a tendency when sometimes things get tough, whatever, I will avoid a hard conversation because I'm not someone that enjoys having that conversation with somebody. However, it's taken me many years to be able to speak up and say my mind, many years to be able to do that. And I still struggle with it a little bit from time to time. So you got to have a mechanism in place, because the longer you avoid something, it actually just keeps adding to the anxiety. It just keeps adding to the pressure. It keeps adding to the stress as well. The longer you avoid that, when, in a simple moment, you could just change and it's done. And a lot of the time, things are actually less than what we actually think they are as well. But we just got to do something about it. So a couple of the key things I like to do, and I know, Serena, you probably want to share. Do you want to share some of the things that you do to be able to deal with stress and, anxiety, or when things get tough or whatever? Like, what are you currently working on right now? Because you're actively also doing this right now too.
Yeah, so there's a couple of things. If the anxiety is sort of right in the middle of something and you're dealing with it, and sometimes it becomes a bit of overwhelm, what I do, especially if you're working really hard, so sometimes you could be sitting and really going hard at it. So, and then I go, whoo, I'm just feeling it all. I'll go outside, lucky there's beautiful sun out there right now. I don't have shoes on, so I don't need to kick them off. But I walk out into the grass dirt area. I sit down on a bench. I put my feet flat on the ground, so I've got the energy of the earth coming in through my feet. And I sit there and breathe, and then I do breathing, a breathing technique that I have just to bring, by the time I finish it, the overwhelmness sort of goes away. And it's in the shade, so then I'll go and stand by the pool and actually sit there and soak up. I call it eating the sun. It's like you're sucking the sun into your mouth and just giving you that extra energy that you need. That's one of them. Another one is I've created a small meditation group for people that are learning about all of this. So we teach ourselves, through different techniques of how to do meditation and dealing with stuff. So obviously if you're reacting to certain things and having trouble dealing with it, there's something that maybe need a little bit of healing inside. So, I know that's, taking a little bit outside the business perspective, but each of us need to do stuff to ourselves to help us keep moving forward, dealing with different peoples. So we do meditation and we do healing meditation as well too. And then today I was actually just talking before with someone who asked me about what's the cleansing. I said, well, when you're wearing stuff, you're actually wearing something, so you might be annoyed with someone, or you think someone's made you angry, or you're upset at something. And a lot of people want to be a little bit of a victim and blame everybody else. So sometimes what you need to do is clean that off your body because you're wearing it. So you do a heavy breathing technique, that cleanses the shit that's clinging to you, and you cleanse it off. And you let it just go deep into the earth. And that's another technique that I use as well. That's after I swear, of course, first. You've always got to do the reaction first.
Bit of a scream type thing. Is that normally how it goes?
Yes. And you know what? And I was watching something the other day. I can't remember what it was, but if I find it, I'll have to put it in here. And this, oh, yes, I do. And I wrote down the words that the chick said. It was so beautiful. But she says that, to keep emotion inside can cause cancer. Well, she didn't say it can cause cancer, but, it creates a lot of shit. But it does. It can cause cancer because apart from toxin buildup from, the chemicals that you put on your body, the chemicals that you breathe out there, the chemicals, that the government's trying to put into you right now, all of that builds up and creates a tumor cancer forming sort of stuff. And then your emotions start to add to it as well. So the fact, if you hold emotion in, you are doing more damage to yourself than anything. You need to release it. So if sometimes you have to scream, shout, let it all out, the minute it's out, it's gone. And being half Italian, that's what I do as well too. So, I kick and scream and say F this and F that. And by actually expressing the emotion and releasing it, you've probably seen it in me, Jared. The minute it's gone and out, then it's like, okay, I feel better now. What's going on? What's next? Let's go. Is that true or not?
Very, very, very true. Very, very, very true.
You just don't hold it in. I reckon you need to do that a few times. I think you hold yours in sometimes.
No, I've got my own coping mechanisms that I use for it as well, right? So I'm a little bit different to most people. I kind of moving my own way that I think and act and all that type of stuff. I've been working on this for a little while myself. Is I'm wanting to sort of transition myself from the expert to the leader, right? So a lot of, the way I kind of act and the things that I do now, I'm molding myself to become a new person, which takes some time, right? Because if you always stay at your current capacity, you'll always continue to have what you always had. So for me, because I'm looking at kind of transitioning things a lot more for my own business, personal life, etc., I'm actually kind of switching the way that I do things. So, when I'm in front of people, I will keep it cool and I will keep it professional, whatever I need to be within that moment. And a lot of my own sort of venting process for me is I need air, I need sun on my face. And the biggest thing with me as well, and especially with starting my days as well, I found a cold shower is the best thing for me. As much as, on a very, very cold day, jumping into a cold shower is the thing that I definitely do not want to do. I've noticed so much difference in myself and my energy levels and the way I act and how relaxed I am and who I am showing up as a leader, I'm noticing that it's of benefit to the way that I am as a whole, as a person. And, you know, what I find is everything is a journey. Everything absolutely is a journey. And it's all about who you want to become as well. The bigger picture is, who do you want to become as a person? Spiritually, financially, health, business, career, whatever it is that you want to do. It's all about who do you want to become and how does that person act? Okay. And I've got my own feeling in the way that I am and the way that I should act to be able to become the person that I want to become as well, because I am my own individual. I'm not in comparison to anybody else as well. So it's like, you know, for me, the bigger picture is focusing on, you know, my own energy levels, the way that I show up, the things that I do. And when I deal with stressful situations or situations where I'm not feeling comfortable in any way, shape, or form, and which is on the friggin' daily, every single day these days. There's always something there that, you know, is exactly that. But what I find is that pressure I actually thrive off, the pressure that comes from day-to-day operations as a business owner or as a leader, whatever you want to call it. So, yeah, I mean, meditation has always been a big thing of mine as well. I've got my own versions of meditation. I'll be back in the gym this week as well. That's the plan, get in and start back up in the gym as well, which is like another form of meditation for me. And the sauna was another form of meditation for me. And the cold showers are really good as well. So it's like,
I love the cold showers. I miss that. I mean, I try and have a cold shower here first thing in the morning. It's the first thing that hits my head. It's the first thing that wakes your brain up, and it's the first thing that gets it energized. But the cold doesn't last long here because it's so hot, you know. So just to get a little bit, lately it's been a little bit longer than normal. And it's, oh my God, that's, you know, when you go like that, it's good. But if I was in Melbourne, it was the middle of winter, I would jump in a pool. I would stand under a cold shower. Not a problem without a second thought. Love it.
yes.
And then hot and then cold.
Yeah. Yes. A lot of it's just finding what works for you, you know, like everybody operates slightly differently. I mean, at the end of the day, we are all people, we're human beings, whatever. But, you know, I find that if a lot of the time you can, you know, and this is not things that I've really learnt through personal development or anything like that, right? It's just from greater understandings of yourself and how you react. And we'd love to hear in the comments, you know, what do you do to center yourself and deal with tough situations? Like, what do you specifically do? We'd love to hear from what you do in the comments. And, you know, hey, we could potentially learn something from you. Somebody else who's watching the live could learn something from you. And you just take little bits of what everyone does and how everyone does things and all that type of stuff. And then you mold your own version, mold yourself to who you are as a person, because you're not like the next person. You're your own unique person. So you got to find your own ways to be able to deal with, you know, stress, anxiety, the pressure of everyday life, that type of stuff, things that come up during the day as well. You just got to find ways to be able to make things happen. And that's what it's all about, finding ways to make things happen. And yeah, that's my my thought pattern on it. Serena, like what do you is anything further you'd like to add to this, or you know?
Well, I think you're always learning off other people anyway. Like, you know, wouldn't you believe it? I'm just actually organising my shopping money. Someone's waiting for it. You know, the deals of stress when you're doing lives and stuff like that. So you are learning all the time, and you're always learning off other people. That's what I'm loving at the moment, is how much other people are teaching me right now, and even teaching your own habits. You know, one of the things that I've always learned is that how you react is telling you what you need to do in relation to some stuff. So, you know, when sometimes, people can't help but react to something, but it's how quick you get out of that reaction, which is important, which means to understand. So if something's really bothering you and you're reacting to it, and when you get a chance to take a breath and really look at it, then you can bring it back to yourself and start what's in it that I need to know to work on, type of thing. Whether it's business, whether it's personal, it doesn't matter, because what affects your personal affects your business as well too, especially if it's happening right before you start doing business, and vice versa. So if you're having a really stressy time at work and you're dealing with a lot of stuff, you shouldn't be taking that home. So then you can, work out how to do a quick cleansing and release it before you walk in the door, because what you walk in the door of your family with is what's going to affect everybody in that house. So, so I guess that's just sort of what I want to add to it. And
Yes.
Shopping, thank you, my love. So, and if people can sort of learn to bring a lot of stuff back to themselves, so many of us, like, I see stuff on Facebook of people reacting to stuff, and look, I can do it as well too if it's something that's really not very nice at all, but people are just reacting to a lot of stuff through carrying the emotions, through carrying fear and all that sort of stuff. So, if we can pull ourselves back a little bit before you put out that, not so good words or whatever, just, I know it's not going to happen all the time, but, when you can, and just put yourself in the shoes of the other person. Not everybody walks in your shoes. Not everybody walks in somebody else's shoes, and we're all different as human beings. The biggest thing is how you can be yourself body-wise, how you present yourself with your mind, your energy, your healing of yourself, and your cleansing, I think I can put it. So when you cleanse, you're I'm going to say almost perfect. You're standing there in all your glory. Dressed, of course, but not, But, if you're not and you're wearing a lot of stuff, then you're not presenting yourself. People can feel things, I'm a feeler. I feel things from people's energy big time. And then it affects me as I'm actually dealing with them as well. So just be aware of that.
Fantastic. Look, at the end of the day, guys, I mean, all of, you're going to be stressed, you're going to have anxiety, you're going to go through tough situations in business, you're going to go through tough situations when you're marketing your business and things aren't going to go the best. It's going to, it's going to be hard. It's a hard thing. And, I think too many people are making it, bright, fluffy, exciting. And I tell you what, business isn't for everyone at all. It's probably one of the toughest things I've done, and I mean, even through my sporting career, that was tough in many different situations. I did a lot of things I didn't want to do, right? But I tell you what, there is gold at the end of the rainbow for the person who's willing to go down that journey and who's willing to, really step themselves up to another level in order to achieve everything that they want, So yeah, guys, just be you. The biggest things is when you are doing day-to-day business and you feel stress or anything like that comes up, or you're marketing your business and things like that come up, the sooner you can do something about it, the quicker it goes. So if you leave things to linger, just gets worse and worse and worse and worse, I found. So the quicker you can do things and the faster you can get onto things and so on, the better, is one of the keys to it, I would say. Because I don't know if you think back to the last time that you guys had something that you wanted to do that you were a little bit uncomfortable about. Maybe, it was maybe calling someone that you didn't want to call because you're afraid of what was going to happen or what someone was going to say or anything like that. And you put that off, put it off, until one day you decide to take some action on it because it just felt this gets too much. What that feeling was like, it would have been solved so much quicker if you just had got it done earlier. It's a lot of what it takes. Get things done a little bit earlier and you'll find that a lot of that build up won't be there anymore. So yeah, so if you guys have anything that you want to share, right? Anything that you want to share at all. And maybe you want to share what you do to center yourself and deal with tough situations as well. We'd love to hear from you and what you do in order to sort of overcome these things as well. So yeah, just let us know in the comments. We'd love to hear from you guys on that. And what we're going to do, we're going to wrap up this show for today as well. It's been a good episode. I think the last couple of episodes have been really, really good, where we've kind of spoken about, I guess, the mind and, how we sabotage ourselves, what we can do to kind of better ourselves as business owners as well, because everything starts and finishes with us as leaders, right? So the more that we can do and the more we can reach out for help to people that have done it as well is definitely going to help move forward a lot faster. All right, guys, thanks so much for tuning in today. Really, really appreciate you all being on the show and jumping on the live and getting some information that's going to help you guys move forward. So thanks so much for tuning in. As I said, let us know in the comments, what do you do to center yourself and deal with tough situations as well. Make it as long as you want. We'd love to hear from you guys. Just remember this one thing. If you do not fight for your own freedom, absolutely nobody else will. So every single day you must get out there. Every single day you must take action. Every single day you must make it happen. And remember to be the warrior. We will see you all Friday, 1 p.m. Perth time. Look forward to seeing you guys there.
Bye. Thank you.
Bye.